So yeah, I guess I touched upon this already. Draining. Certain people are very draining for me. ENFJs are very draining. ESFJs are probably the most draining. A bunch of ESFJs together is let me get the hell out of there. A lot of people are draining for me. I mean, everyone drains. ENFJs even get drained. No one can be completely, social butterflies still need time to themselves. I can be, too agreeing, that's what I wrote. I can be too appeasing of people and their thoughts because I want to make people feel comfortable. I don't want to be judgmental, even though FI is a completely judgmental function. Very judgmental function. So that's where you'll get confused and you'll look at an INFP, oh, gentle person, they wouldn't hurt a fly. Don't confuse that. INFPs can be very judgmental. They just won't let you know that. If they don't feel comfortable, that's the whole thing. As soon as they trust you, you'll start hearing more of their actual opinions. For me, I'll even find it kind of confusing on differentiating my opinion from other people's. I have to get away and reflect on the situation because I'll be so appeasing to a person that I'll confuse my thoughts with theirs and just and like what I believe and what they believe and what is actually true of my my beliefs, because I just have a natural tendency to want to make people feel comfortable, and I end up changing my mind, or it's weird. Job commitment is what I wrote. Oh my god. Oh, this is what I was going to say. With ISTJ dad, all about work, he kind of instilled work into me, so it's very second nature now that I know I have to work, and I don't want to at all. I just want complete freedom. That's what my next thing is I need to be free to my environment. I need to be able to pursue new things. I don't like being constrained by rules, by anything, just constraining. It's oh my god. It's very frustrating knowing I have to wake up and go to work every single day, do the whole 8 to 6 freaking, I work 10-hour days. I work at a warehouse. Before that I worked construction and landscaping with my dad. So, it's very physical things. It's a very physical activity, but it was kind of forced upon me. And this is what I was going to say with INTPs. I noticed that they can be okay with not doing that. As for me, I think, I don't know if it's because of my environment or whatever, but I feel like I know I have to work, and I'll work like crazy, and then just want to get home and just pass out. But it's sorry. I know I have to work. I don't want to work, but I do anyways. I really just want to get the hell out of here. Once I realize the commitment I made by getting this new warehouse job, it's a full-time job every day. Once I realized the commitment, I just wanted to skedaddle. But I need the money right now, so I want to become dependent of myself or whatever, because I don't like other people supporting me, even though usually I very rarely ask for things. And in the beginning stages of life, I made it a point not to ask people for things, and now it's kind of more, everything is more, whatever I take on, I just go into it alone, and I gotta do it alone. It's alone, which is not very healthy. I don't want to do that. My dad gave me some of the worst advice I've ever gotten in my life. Is you don't need friends. I always tell people that, or people I trust, you don't need friends. What father says that He's upstairs. What father says that to his son? You don't need friends. That's interesting. You don't need friends. That makes perfect sense. That's just the loneliest fucking mentality I've ever heard. INFPs in relationships. We can be clingy. Clingy as shit if we really like the person we're talking to. The whole idealization of INFPs, the way they idealize life, goes into their relationships full-heartedly. That's almost this prime. That's my prime. For me, that's been my prime. I thought that was everyone. I literally thought that was everyone. I thought relationships what was, is what life was about, like just growing up. It's relationships. Isn't that what it is? You find the girl or guy, whatever, whatever you're into, and you live happily ever after, and I thought that's what it was. I guess not. I guess I'm part of the majority or group of guys that like I watch. My sister's an INFJ, straight up INFJ to the I had a hard time typing her because INFJs are notoriously hard to type. But she's definitely an INFJ. She was very unhealthy at one point, mentally, and physically, but mentally the most. So these are personal things that I'm saying, but I have trust in the internet, so I'm trusting this, and I don't expect many people to see this to begin with, so I'm not even going into detail, really. So that's why people will confuse it. Like, I'm not giving away too much. I'm only giving you the general idea, and then people will assume I'm very trustworthy and I give away a lot when I'm actually not giving very much. I'm just telling you the general idea. I'm not telling you the specific details, which are way more in depth than that. But anyways, as an INFJ, she had a hard time, so she was hard to type. Very hard to type. But she is, and I was gonna say we have a very good relationship. Where was I going? These stupid tangents. I'm sorry. We can be clingy. People we like. People we don't like, we'll still be friendly. We'll text someone back even if we don't want to, just because we don't want to be mean or whatever. I don't want to make someone's day worse, just like enough people are like that. Why do I have to, why should I be that person too? I keep doing that. I keep saying it and then going to the topic and realizing I already spoke about it. Too open when trusting. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When we trust people, they get confused with the fact that we could be too open or whatever about things. And which is true. Like, if it's a full trust, like if I completely trust you, which is, you can't completely trust anybody. It's just the way of life. It's the sad truth. That was my motto for a while. It's the sad, harsh truth of the world. You just come to accept it, and it's a lot easier to live it. I'm sorry if I'm looking down too much. It's very looking at the camera's just very whatever. Aloof, detached. It happens. As an INFP, we can appear aloof in social environments. It's like I said, it's a different type of aloof or detachment than an INTP. For us, it's more of a defense mechanism, I feel, and it might be for an INTP as well, but I think they go about it differently. They just have a more natural, detached air about them, and that's obviously the TI Dom coming out to play. Oh, I didn't write this down, and I don't want to forget about it. I feel like I have maybe more developed TE than most INFPs, and that's where I was getting at. Is a lot of my friends have, auxiliary TE or whatever, TE DOMs, whatever, and somehow I've managed to be okay around them and play that game and be more rational, and I feel like I just naturally started to do that myself, and I've learned a lot from TE. I feel like whatever your worst function is, or whatever the fourth function down, I don't know the names of all of them. I'm the dominant, then auxiliary, then tertiary, whatever. I don't know. But I feel like whatever your fourth function is, you should really try practicing developing it. I've gotten my ISFP friend to develop his TE very well too. I've made it a point to tell him, like, dude, you wanna. I noticed when I was a kid I didn't make sense a lot. Like, oh, you want to come out? No, I gotta, I'm busy. I gotta do that. It's, what do you gotta do? And then I'll really start talking, and by the end of it, the people I'm talking to will realize I have nothing to do, and I have no excuse for not wanting to go anywhere besides the fact that in here I didn't want to do it, and I don't know how to say that. So I would just, I gotta do, my cat is hungry. Just stupid stuff. So just develop your fourth function, and I feel like it's very helpful, for me at least. I've noticed just a huge balance booster for myself to get out of my slumps is to just be more here, and TE is very, it's very here, very rational, what is, what isn't, that sort of thing. INFPs are often out of the social loop. That was also what I wanted to get to. Oh yeah. I don't know if we subconsciously block out these social occurrences between people, and the sad shit that, like, the really sad, pathetic shit that some people resort to in life. I don't know if we block this out to keep our idealization going or something, but I noticed myself doing it. I definitely have noticed that pattern. Like finding out, family members cheating on other family members, relationships, secretly being failures and whatever, but on the surface looking like grade A relationships. I don't know until, like, ENFPs will be the ones. ENFJs are actually the most helpful to me as a person with social cues and just the way people are. ENFJs are good at that. They really point that out. I'm making a point to mention ENFJs only because I've had a very big crush on an ENFJ since fucking way back in the day. I can't help it. They're just, ENFJs are the greatest. The very, very sexual. Just not sexual. They just give off a very. Their vibe is so. Oh my god, it takes me to another world sometimes. Anyways, but they fill me in on the social cues because ENFJs are social butterflies and I'm not, and I love it when they tell me shit that I would have never heard, like, oh yeah, he's, that person's been, it's even everyday stuff is good to hear about, beyond just, not everything has to be, initiative talk. Even initiatives can be very censor-like. I don't believe. I just feel like it's the way you go about it that really determines what you are, not necessarily what you're talking about. Because it's not that I hate small talk. Every person on here, every I almost will come on here. INFP, INFJ, INTP. All this, I can't stand small talk. It just sounds like every single type is saying that. Like, why can't you stand small talk? I mean, it's just something you have to do to. I get annoyed with it. It depends on the person, because if I'm having small talk with my good friends, the small talk isn't small talk anymore. It's talk. Small talk with people you don't want to be talking to is the small talk I think people are talking about, because that's the small talk with the small people that you consider, you know, and small as in, not as in small physically, small as in like they're not very important to you, that sort of thing. So that's small talk for me. And yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to someone I don't want to talk to about this most mundane shit. And I'll be the guy to bring it up first. Oh, the weather's lovely this evening. But I really don't care. I don't care at all. And then they'll say something and I don't know what to say, so I'll just stop talking. Very awkward situations. So many. I have so many awkward stories. It's amazing. You know, I guess that's the one thing that's, you know, if you find awkward stories funny, then I got plenty of them. A lot of people have stories. I don't really have too many stories. I tell stories. I tell a lot of stories, but stories of my own I don't necessarily go into, except for awkward stories. I always think those are funny because I feel like the more accepting you are of them, the less awkward you'll feel in the next awkward situation. I don't know. Character development, or not character development, self-reflection, I feel, is very... I like progress in my personality, and I like to progress as a person, become a better person in general. And I feel like if you always keep doing that, by the end of it, you know, you'll be the best person you can be. Or you'll completely fail and fall flat on your face and become miserable and bitter. And I don't want to be bitter. Not at all. Aggressiveness. INFPs and aggressiveness. I did talk about how the misconception that INFPs are completely submissive and passive-aggressive, which a lot of them are, and that's the stereotype is that most INFPs are passive-aggressive, that sort of type B personality, whatever. I think that's what it is, type B. But I want to say that that's not necessarily always true. I feel like that's our natural inclination to be, but INFPs can have a very aggressive side to them. If they feel violated or something or whatever it is, and then they'll stop making sense at this point. I don't know if I'm ready to share this. I think I will for the sake of the video. I actually have my fair share of issues with rage. And it's only been with family that it's ever happened. I've had about 4 or 5, maybe more instances, but very little, like less than 10 instances of complete, utter blackout rage. Like, not a lot of people have seen it. I'm very friendly. I'm very laid back. All these things, so people don't think it's there. And I honestly, I thought people would realize that I won't be stepped on to that point. But I guess once people don't realize that, or that they don't, and I don't know that they don't realize that, when I get to it, you know, when I get to that point of rage, and it's only been with family members so far, which is bad. I don't ever want to do that again. And I say after every time it happens, this is the last time. That's unacceptable. I feel like I shorten my lifespan by 2 years every time it happens. It's just a complete, like, I don't even want to imitate it. It's very, I guess for certain people, everyone that's seen it has been very frightened by it. I could see it in their eyes that was scaring them, and I couldn't stop myself. I don't know what I was doing. I would never hurt them. That's the confusion that's there, is when they see that, they think I'm gonna hurt them, because it's very hostile. It's fists everywhere. Like, I don't hit. The only things I hit are like I break. Like, all right, right there, right behind that guitar, there's a hole in the wall. I've done construction. I know everything. I don't. A lot of people punch a hole in their wall and leave it for years. No. No. You fix it. You plaster it. You know, whatever. You fix it. I fix all the holes. Anyways, I broke that door freaking halfway. Fixed it. That's not the point. The most rage moments, I've moved about 3 times in the same 2-mile town, and the most rage moments I've had were in this house, and I hate this house. My first house, I didn't have any moments of rage, maybe one, but I was too young to even really feel that or have that in me. I think it builds up over time, and I just bottle things up and it explodes. And especially it's with family. It really is with family problems. I can't take them. I choose to ignore them, but then they still bottle up on the side. And then when I choose to realize what's actually going on, the whole social loop thing, that I'm out of the loop, I don't realize because I choose to ignore it. When I start to pay attention, when I go into the loop and see what is actually going on, I realize how fucked up people are, and that's when I lose it. I snap. I snap completely, and it's, like I said, it's very unhealthy, and I don't want to do that, and it's not funny. It's really not funny. The people have done that too don't even deserve to have seen me in that light, but after having them seen it, it's changed their complete opinion on me. So I don't want to do that again, even though it's part of me. So I feel like I have to tell people, because I would be lying if I didn't, and I want to be true to myself, and true to I want to be a genuine person. So I don't like withholding things, and lying is completely not for me. Everyone lies. Don't say you don't lie. I used to do that, and I've seen too many movies and documentaries, and I've read too many articles to know that you can't. It's impossible to be completely true. And it's not that every lie is a complete deception or a complete mistruth, because there's a lot of truth in lies. You just really have to pay attention to them. Anyways, I'm sorry about my rant. Like I said, the past videos I've made I've deleted. I won't delete this one because I'm tired of doing that, and I'm tired and sick and tired of going about things the wrong way. I don't know if I talked about relationships. I did. I didn't talk about... Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple more things and I'll end this video. I'm sorry, this has dragged on too long. I don't know how long this has been. I'm going to go out of my way and say almost everyone smokes nowadays. If you're asking smoke what, then it's probably the latter. I mean, it's pretty, I'm not talking about cigarettes, whatever. I want to be very PG-13 here, even though I've cursed a couple times. I find that it helps me calm down, and it's very peaceful. Smoking for me was a complete choice of mine. I was never forced into it. It was a complete, I want to try it for myself and judge what it is, and I never turned back until I found out I have throat problems. Actually, the smoke aggravates. I have problems with my esophagus and throat and stomach. The whole piping, the whole inner works. Whatever, I don't want. Who cares? Everyone has their own things. But I found out that smoking can be very helpful, I guess. I don't know. Okay, my dad was walking downstairs. I'm very private about the things I do. That's another thing. Very private about the things I do. I don't want to be humiliated or exposed, so I'll choose to the withholding. Is it withholding, or is it just not wanting to be judged? If I feel like I'm going to be judged about something, I won't share it. or judged in a very bad light, I won't share it. Anyways, what was I getting at? Smoking. Yeah, it's been very. I feel like it's helped me a lot. I don't see it as a bad thing at all. I mean, besides the fact that it's really bad for my throat. For me to smoke, it's very bad. My doctor told me that, and I've heard from friends of the same thing, or close to it. I might end up getting a hole in my throat and have to use those electronic things to speak, which, if I, so good thing I don't smoke a lot anymore. I only take a couple hits and go about my night, which will usually include watching Netflix or TV shows, movies, whatever, music. Doesn't the typical NF things that everyone does, not just NFs. I'm just saying the typical NF things is what I do. Yeah, I like drawing and stuff. I'm not good at it. Here, I'll actually show you. Like I said, smoking, I feel like it just opens up. I feel like you're more your core self when you smoke. That's definitely what I feel about it. And it was a complete myself choice, and I only ever tried it when I found out it wasn't harmful. I don't like doing things that are harmful to me. Like I still want to go skydiving or whatever, and I hope to do that in the future. But I know I'll be safe. And I'll notice a lot of other INFPs will be very scared of things like that. Like, I want to hop on a motorcycle and I want to, hit the road. Hit the road, Jack. I'm about that. I used to go jet skiing and stuff in Massachusetts, and dirt biking and all that. I have a lot of mechanics in the family. It doesn't matter. I'm about that. I'll do it. I'm not scared of it because I feel like I'll be safe. But as something that's not safe, I won't do it. Like, I'll never try, cocaine or hard drugs or whatever. It's just not what I'm about. I feel like if it's bad for you, I don't want to be a part of it. Why do something that's bad for you just because it makes you feel good for a little while? I never understood that. Anyways, so I do like drawing. I actually have a couple things in my room about them. I drew all those. There's a lot more. I've drawn a lot more than that. I just don't put them up. I don't like my drawings at all. I look at them and I actually get annoyed with myself because I suck. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, dude, that doesn't suck. That looks okay." Yeah, it's okay. I don't want to be okay. I want to be the best, which is obviously an impossibility. And I don't even make the effort to try to be any better. And when I do, I just completely stop because I'm afraid of what I'll find, that I can't be the best. So not even trying it will leave the mystery there that I can be good, but I just don't because I don't try. So I'll just never try it, which is stupid because I could end up being a lot better than I am. But no, I don't go out of my way to completely learn things. I could solve a Rubik's Cube, which is very interesting. My INTP friend is actually the one who helped me learn how to solve them. I wouldn't have been able to do it without his help. I don't feel like doing it right now, but yeah, I take a couple minutes to do it. I don't feel like learning the algorithm for the shortest route to do it. I don't care. As long as I can solve it, it's cool. Anyways, what was I getting at? Oh my god. INFPs in relationships, I'm horrible at them. I've been in little to no relationships, which is pathetic, being 19 years old, and I'm very ashamed to say that, but in the comfort of my own home and the comfort of knowing that this video will probably, just fall through the cracks, I'm okay in saying that I've had the absolute worst luck in relationships, and I come off very wrong, not the way I want to come off. I just feel like I don't know. I really don't. Oh my god. I just want to meet someone That's all I want. It's not too much to ask. Just meet someone, just one person. Everyone's about the numbers game. I don't care about the numbers. I just want one. Just, anyways. The divorce rates are so scary nowadays that I'm losing hope in relationships and the idea of them, which is very hard for an INFP to accept. And I don't think I can ever accept that. I'll die not accepting that. But the truth is that it's there, that relationships just aren't working nowadays, and I don't know. I don't want to be part of another statistic that didn't work. Anyways. Crap, now I don't want to end the video on that note. Fuck. Alright guys, whatever. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just me completely talking about just random shit, going off on tangents and ideas. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little bit about myself, or I hope you learned or could have taken something from me talking about myself or whatever. I mean, I guess that's the whole point with FI. It's a sympathetic thing. It's not so much empathetic. It's more sympathy based, and a lot of FI dominants will talk about themselves not in complete a complete egotistical manner. It's more of a they're trying to sympathize with you. It's a sympathy thing. We're not trying to talk about ourselves narcissistically. We're just completely trying to relate here, and then we're hoping you can take from our relation and our sympathy, our FI. We hope you can take from it and learn from it yourself. I don't know. I just want to be helpful. I don't want to be a nuisance to anyone, and that's one big thing for me. I don't want to make anyone go out of their way just to be with me or whatever. I don't know. Life's hard. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I might make a new one depending on how this works out. Let me know in some comments on anything you've noticed that you might want to ask. Okay. Thanks for watching. Salam.